Hi students, today let us start a new series for CBSE Class 9 students. So today we are going to discuss about the second chapter in grade 9 mathematics for CBSE students. The chapter name is Polynomial. Here the chapter objectives are, first we will deal with the introduction part and then types of the polynomials, and we will discuss about how to find the value of the polynomial, and after that zeros of the polynomial, we will call them as the sometimes roots or solutions of the polynomial while solving the equations, and remainder theorem, which is very important to solve competitive examination questions as well as, and this area will give you the most important question with respect to the CBSE board exam also. And factorization of the polynomial, it is very interesting and it has more application while coming to the factorization. And finally we will discuss about the actual applications of the tools in the polynomial, that is algebraic identities. This is our complete chapter syllabus which we are going to discuss. And now in this lecture we will focus on introduction part. So in this lecture 1, usually we go with the introduction part, what is meant by expression, and from expression we will define polynomial, and after defining the polynomial we will discuss about the different types of polynomials based on number of terms and based on degree. And now finally we will solve all the problems from exercise 2.1 from NCERT grade 9. That is last part. And this is objective of the lecture 1, and that we are going to discuss now. And my dear students, to understand the expression, let me take two groups, our favorite groups. The first one is constant group 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and up to 9. These are the constants. And let me take another group which is called variable group. Usually the variables used in mathematics, A, P, R, M, X, all these are, I have included only some variables here. It is not mean that we only use these variables. These are the general and popular variables. And now let me take these two groups separately. And let me take any one from this constant group, one member, and another member from this constant group, and to join with them. See, in mathematics, any constant or any variable to associate with another variable, it need an operation. And in mathematics we have popular operators. 4 operators are there. They are called addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Yes, and by using these operators we will combine these constants and variables, and that is going to be our expression. And still it is going to be very interesting. Let me take one member from the constant, that is 2, because it is a favorite number for most of the students. So let me take 2 here, and 2, and let me take another member from the variable, that is x, and 2 and x are called and joined here, and this collectively this 2x. And again if you observe carefully here, 2 and x is also involved one operator, multiplication, 2 times x, and this 2x collectively is called a term. And very interesting thing here is this 2 is called as coefficient and this x is called as variable in a term. And let me take another one, like 2x. Let me take again 5 and one variable from variable group, that is after x definitely we will take y only, so y. And let me join these two terms, and again don't forget here, again in this 5 is called coefficient and y is called variable, and these 2x and 5y are joined by an operation, and you know that our favorite operation is addition. So 2x plus 5y is a statement in mathematics, I can call, because statement is nothing but a language. It is mathematical language, and by looking at this we can understand that 2 and x are multiplied and that is added to another term which consists of 5 and y. 2x and 5y. This is a statement, or I can say in another way, 2 times x and 5 times y. This is a mathematical statement which contains both constants and variable, and they are joined by a mathematical operator. Very simple. So to understand about the expression, let me take one more expression, not only like this linear kind. Let me take another one like 2y cube plus 7x square minus y. And let me take another expression, something like y square minus 17. And you may get doubt, we will get like these regular expressions only? No, we can get another kinds like 3x power 2 by 3 minus x square, and even we will take x power minus 1 plus 5. And all these collectively, what is the general thing involved here? See, all these are mathematical statements, because I can give you a statement about any expression here, and those statements contains constants and variables, and they are operated by mathematical operator, or they are joined by mathematical operator. So I can define now our first topic expression. This expression can be defined now with a statement here. Expressions are mathematical statements that have a minimum of 2 terms containing numbers or constants or variables or both, and connected by an operator in between them. Simple. And these are called expressions. So expressions means nothing but it is a combination of numbers and variables, and they are joined by mathematical operator. That is called a simple expression. And after expression, to discuss about polynomial, because to define polynomial we need expression first. So expression we have completed. Now coming to the polynomial. Polynomial, it is an expression only, but with a special condition. Polynomials are expressions, but not all the expressions. Let me consider. I am very interested. Let me focus on that one. I am very interested on a particular thing here. Powers of the variables. So in the first expression, if you observe, x power 1 and y power 1. Let me consider the second expression, y power 3, x power 2, y power 1. Third expression, y power 2. And 17 times what? 17 times I can write 1 can be written as y power 0. And here 0 is the power. And here 3x power 2 by 3 is the power. X square, 2 is the power. And x power minus 1 is the power. And yes, 5 into 1 can be written as these in terms of this variable x power 0, and here 0 is the power. Now observe all the powers of the variables here, and our polynomial is a special kind of the pattern or structure, or it is a special kind of the family inside the expressions. Let me give you the clarity about that. See here, if you observe all the powers once, all the powers you observe and focus on which powers are the expressions whose powers are whole numbers. One stick for whole powers in these expressions. How many are having whole powers in the expressions given here? Let us focus that. See, if you observe carefully, the first expression contains 1 and 1 whole power. Second expression contains 3, 2, 1 whole powers. Here you may get doubt what is mean by whole number. See, observe here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these are whole numbers, and try to identify which expressions have the powers as whole numbers or whole numbers as their powers. And here this 2 by 3 is not a whole number, and this minus 1 is not a whole number. So our topic of discussion here is polynomial, and polynomial is an expression, no doubt in that. But which kind of expression? The expression which has only whole numbers as powers, not other things. So these two below second line, these two expressions are not into our discussion. So that is why we will eliminate these two things. Now these three are into our discussion, and if you observe, it is very simple. Polynomial is nothing but an expression, but which has their powers as whole numbers. Now the definition can be easily identified. Polynomial is an expression in which all the powers of variables are whole numbers. Very simple. Polynomial is an expression in which all the powers of variables are whole numbers. That is the definition for the polynomial. Now we will discuss about the types of the polynomial. And polynomials can be classified in two ways. The first way will be based on number of terms. Suppose if the given polynomial or given expression contains only one term like 2x, here how many terms are available? Simply one term only. And here x power 4 plus x, 2 terms. Here x cube minus root 3 x square plus 5x, 3 terms. So the polynomial which contains only one term is called monomial. Okay, the polynomial which contains two terms, it is called binomial. And the polynomial which contains here three terms is called trinomial. And the polynomial which contains more than three terms is polynomial. The expression which contains poly means many. And now how to define what is monomial, what is binomial, and what is trinomial. And the definition wise, it is very simple. Always try to utilize this kind of the method. See, what is monomial actually? It is basically a polynomial. And in that polynomial which contains only one term, is called monomial. So it is the polynomial which contains only one term is called monomial. See the definition here. The polynomial which contains only one term is called monomial. And the polynomial which contains two terms, is called binomial. And the polynomial which contains three terms is called trinomial. I hope you have understood. Again, let me give you the recap. Okay, the first one is monomial. The polynomial which contains only one term is called monomial. The polynomial which contains two terms is called binomial. The polynomial which contains three terms is called trinomial. Tri means three. This is about the types of or classification of the polynomial based on number of terms. And another kind of the classification is based on degree. Degree means highest power of variable, because polynomial itself is identified or defined with respect to the power of the variable. Any expression can be said to be polynomial if it contains all the powers of variables as whole numbers. So the powers of variables is significant thing here in polynomials. So that is why based on the nature of or based on the highest power of the variable, we will classify polynomial into again three phases. The highest power of any polynomial is called as degree. Okay, the highest qualification simply, usually highest qualification will be general language degree. Even in the case of highest power of variable also we call that as the degree. Let me focus here 7y. What is the y power here? Only 1. And here three terms are there. Among three terms, two terms contains variable, and that variable is y. The first term y power is 2, second term y power is 1. Which is highest among them? 2. So in the first case, the highest power of the variable is 1. In second case, the highest power of the variable is 2. And in third case, here the variable is x. The highest power is in first term, that is 3. And now, here highest power is 1. So the degree is 1. First degree or 1 degree. Degree 1 we call. Here 2. There it is 3. So this one is called degree 1 and this one is called degree 2. Okay. And this one is called here 3 identify. So it is degree 3. And here the first one degree 1, so it is called a linear polynomial. In the second one it is called quadratic polynomial. In the third one degree 3 it is cubic polynomial. Once again see here, if highest power of the variable, that is a degree, is 1, 1 is for linear line, only one dimension, so linear polynomial. Here highest power degree 2, it is arranged in 2 dimension, 2 directions, so it is quadratic polynomial. And again it is 3, x is taken 3 times, so it can be along x and along y and along z. So 3 dimension, it can form a cube also, 3D. So it is cubic polynomial. And this is about the types of the polynomial based on highest power of variable, that is degree. First degree, that is called linear polynomial. Second degree, that is quadratic polynomial. Third degree, that is cubic polynomial. And now we should define them. Just now I have shown you in the case of first kind of the classification of the polynomial as monomial, binomial and trinomial. Same here also. What is a linear polynomial actually? Actually it is basically a polynomial. The polynomial whose highest power of variable is 1. That is linear polynomial. Whose highest power of variable is 2. That is quadratic. Whose highest power of variable is 3. That is cubic. Very simple. So first definition, let me consider here. The polynomial which contains, observe carefully, the polynomial which contains highest power of variable as 1. The polynomial which contains highest power of variable as 1, that is called linear polynomial. And similarly, the polynomial which contains highest power of variable as 2, it is called as quadratic polynomial. Very simple. It is called as adjective kind of defining. Very simple. In mathematics and science, the definition, forming a definition by yourself, very simple. What is actually quadratic polynomial? It is actually, basically it is a polynomial. And it qualified as polynomial already. And in that polynomial, based on which criteria you are defining it as a quadratic? Based on the criteria, that is highest power of variable. So in that way we should define. So the polynomial which contains highest power of variable as 2, it is called as quadratic polynomial. And again in the case of third one, the polynomial which contains highest power of variable as 3, it is called as cubic polynomial. Yes, I hope my dear students, you have understood about the classification of the polynomial, or in another way, types of polynomial based on highest power of variable, that is degree. Okay, we have linear polynomial, we have quadratic polynomial, we have cubic polynomial, right?